Boobs. Maybe a little farther up there. There we go.
Did you really just say
Straight up,
boobs?
right at your boobs. I ain't lying. Whoops. We'll play back there.
Are we live?
We are live.
Hi. I was told to fix my hair.
Just look like a clown a little bit. A little bit.
Hi.
Hey folks, Breakaway Homestead here.
I'm
Patrick.
Megan. I'm Megan. He's Patrick.
And I'm Megan. Yes. Boobs. Well, we got special this evening.
Yep.
Might not be a long show, but we will. We definitely got a topic here for you. We're going to be doing for ourselves, so we figured we'd share with you what we're doing.
So we are talking pickles.
Pickles.
So our garden, we had a little bit of issue with the heat wave that came through about a month ago at this point, 3 weeks ago. And a lot of our stuff was not, the plants were growing, but there was nothing really producing. And so our garden's been kind of meh. Like, we have beautiful 6 foot tall tomato plants.
But
We
no
have a
tomatoes.
whopping 4 tomatoes on like all of our, like, period, completely total. I have gorgeous, healthy looking corn. Absolutely no corns. There's no silking.
Well, I'll say the corn that's the commercial corn is starting to.
I know.
That's because it's commercial corn.
I know, but we have like nothing. It's not even looking like it's thinking about it
But
at
it
this
is.
point.
I just want to let you know I looked at the corn today,
I looked at it yesterday and nothing.
and they're pollinating those.
So
the tops are coming out of them now.
But so we have some cucumbers. They're not the sexiest cucumbers, but we want to go ahead and do something with them while we can. So tonight, So tonight we are actually going to do a refrigerator can because we'll eat them, as pickles within the next couple weeks. So it's just kind of a down and dirty, super easy, minimal effort involved, totally our style. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start with the brine. We're gonna kind of dive right into it. Start with mixing the brine so we can get that on the stove. The recipe I have makes 3 quarts. I doubt we'll need that much at all, but I want to go ahead and make it so I don't have to do any math.
Because it's refrigerated pickles and you're making a lot of brine, you can actually put the brine in another jar and hold it for later.
Yeah, so we might do that, we might not. We do actually have a lot of cucumbers coming on now that the weather has kind of calmed itself, so that might actually not be a bad idea. It's
been a steady up and down. I mean, it got cold.
Yeah, we dropped down in the 50s the other day at night, so I don't know, it's been weird, but it's kind of tabling out at this point to where it sort of should be. So we do actually have a lot more cucumbers on, little baby cukes. But yeah, so we're going to dive into mixing the brine so I can get on the stove. Then Pat's going to read you a story. We're going to talk about some other stuff. And then while he's talking, I'm going to be chopping the cucumbers. He told me not to use the mandolin because we don't need a trip to the ER on our live stream, so I'll be using a knife, old school. We're going to talk about different canning methods. I have a question for everybody on a method. Jack, do not get on the counter. And so here we go. So I'm
going to step out and do a little videography.
This is
videography.
My pot. So recipe is super simple. For the brine, you need 4 cups of water. So excuse me while I go to the sink.
Here's little Elbers. Elby! How are you doing? A little fuzzy tonight.
I don't know what that means.
It means the picture's fuzzy tonight.
Oh. So you start off with 4 cups of water. Jack, get out of the sink.
Little tour. You can see our dogs chew up everything.
What are you touring?
Hello, the living room.
Okay. Because the kitchen
you got
is dirty.
The hearth and everything like that. You got the kitties over there. Ooh, got that food dehydrator for $4 at a thrift store the other day. been used once, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
So now we're back with our other 2 cups of water. I had to stop and water the dogs in the process. It's never ends at the house. So after that, you're going to do 2 cups of white vinegar.
We used to, is it the White House?
White House, yeah.
We use White House. That stuff's like $2.50 a gallon.
Yeah, it's super cheap. I mean, it's vinegar. So 2 cups of that. I hate the smell of vinegar. Y'all have no idea how much it kills me to use vinegar and things. So then we need salt. So we're using our Mrs. Wages pickling and canning salt, which we got on sale at Tractor Supply because we always go and look at the clearance section.
First.
Like, we just do. You never know what you're going to find in the clearance section of any store. And so that we found this. So I think it's the first time. No, we've used it already.
No, used it once already. Pickled eggs.
Okay. So you're going to need 2 tablespoons of salt. So I got my little tablespoon. I can't see what I'm pointing at. So, seriously, this bag is not conducive for getting a tablespoon out. So there's tablespoon number 1. Tablespoon number 2. I'm going to do a little extra because my tablespoons were not overly full. And why not? It's pickles. Can't be too salty, I guess. So then, oh shit, I forgot the sugar.
So we use a lot of vinegar in the house. We use it for
cleaning products, laundry, cooking. Everything.
Everything, pretty much.
Everything. So then, back to the recipe real quick. It does have 1 teaspoon of sugar, which coming out of a mason jar is a hell of a lot easier than a bag.
You're welcome.
And voila, that's it. There's other stuff that we'll add, but that's not until it goes straight into the jars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go get this on the stove. You got to bring it up to a boil just to make sure that the sugar and the salt dissolve completely into your water vinegar concoction. And there she blows. Super, super easy, which I like because we have very busy lives. And something that can take me like 20 minutes to put together and then stick in my fridge, thumbs up of approval.
Thumbs up of approval. So Max is going to she's going to put that on the stove, and she's going to get the chopping block out for some choppers of some cucumbers.
And some garlic squashing.
Garlic squashing. You adding garlic?
Yeah. Goes good.
One of the nicer cucumbers.
Are you going to introduce them one at a time?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, one of us should be in the camera.
This one is called the manatee. Me. I'm a manatee.
You're a dork is what you are. So, well, come share the screen with me. I don't know what I'm talking about while I'm cutting cucumbers.
Oh, okay. Well, I can do you can cut cucumbers and I can do the book at the same time. Or we can talk about what we just did yesterday.
We can talk about what we did yesterday. So, for Father's Day, I wanted to get Pat some chickens. And it's a specific type of chicken. They're called Ayam Samanis. They're all black.
I'm pulling up an image right now.
Okay, apparently Pat has a picture. So we tried to raise these chickens before.
We try to incubate.
To incubate them before. Yeah, I guess I should say that. We got fertilized eggs. We tried to incubate them. It did not work. Rookie, don't do it. It did not work out. We had one that made it to breaking out of the shell, but it did not live. And it was a disappointing kind of adventure all around.
We had tried to do it more than once.
Not with the Ayam Samanis.
No, but still doing chickens inside those incubators.
And so now that we've got the newer incubator and our China Special incubator, and we've successfully incubated quail eggs and raised several rounds of quail at this point, I decided that for Father's Day, I wanted to get Pat some Ayam Samanis, some fertilized eggs, and we are going to incubate them and raise them.
All right, so let's stop 1 second. Back up. Quick question: Why are we just getting eggs? Why don't we just get the chickens themselves? Explain
Well,
to them why we're not just buying chickens.
one, they're expensive as hell.
A good breeding stock pair of I'm Samanis will run you $600.
Yeah, and you can find them cheaper, but they're not necessarily pure bred. And we have the incubator. I wanted us to be able to experience from start to finish, kind of being able to breed and raise these chickens. God, this smells so good. I gotta eat one. And so we want one. It's delicious.
Good. All right.
Eat a cucumber.
Well, that's good.
So I wanted to get him these eggs, and you can get fertilized eggs on eBay and places like that. But then I panicked because I'm not an eBayer. I didn't, I don't know what kind of ads to trust and not trust. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the jars. And so I ended up telling Pat ahead of time, hey, this is what I want to do for Father's Day. So we actually ordered them a while ago.
I did my
actually cut them in half.
Yeah,
So
I did my
they'll fit in there.
panhandling,
He did some bartering,
which you can do on eBay.
which I did not know you could do on
You
eBay.
can actually, if it says or best offer,
Whoops.
you can actually message the seller and say, "Hey, I think yours is too expensive." We did have some local breeders,
Local-ish.
local-ish, an hour away. That's pretty local. That's within the same state.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like driving 2 hours just to go get some eggs and be upset because they didn't come through or whatnot and everything like that.
So he reached out to this breeder and said, hey, girl, hey, I want some of your eggs, but I'm not paying the price you're asking. How about make it a baker's dozen? Because I'm a baker. And we'll go from there. And so she agreed to it. And basically what it ended up doing was just taking the shipping price out of the equation. The seller, they shipped on time. She had labeled the eggs. Like, I'm very impressed with the seller. And I might actually need another jar. These are cutting up more than I thought they would. And so anyway, we got the eggs. Got them.
2 jars will be fine.
Okay. Got them in the incubator, and we candled them last night.
Wait,
so we got. You have the pictures of
Day
it?
11, we candled.
Yeah. So we ended up getting from her. We got 13 I am Samani, and then she tossed in 2 silkies, fertilized eggs as just a freebie.
For free.
Yeah, so, which was awesome, because I like the silkies. Pat thinks they're ugly, but I like the way they look.
They're smaller than me, too.
I'm going to need another jar. I got 2 more cucumbers. I still got to put the garlic and
we'll
stuff
get another
in.
jar. All right.
Okay. So, we candled them. They're in there on the bottom. You're going to have to move the dog food, the container. So, anyway, so we candled them last night. 12 of our 13 I am Samani eggs have something in them. You can see the veins, and some of them actually, they were already like moving, like chicks. And so that is super, super exciting. I know there's still the potential, just because they're alive now or growing now doesn't mean they will continue. And I do understand that. But just to have that much already, going was just super excited. It was, it's always a risk.
It boosts your confidence.
And we know our incubator is legit this time, so that part is handled. So at that point, it just comes down to are the eggs actually fertilized?
All right, y'all. Real quick, you can see the picture here. You can see right by my thumb the veins on the inside of the egg, and that shows that it's growing.
Yeah.
And that it's fertilized. Now, how many eggs were not fertilized?
Just the one. I already told him that.
Just the one. That's what an unfertilized egg looks like. That's what a fertilized, when an egg is not successfully fertilized.
Growing, yeah.
What it looks like. You see how it looks like it's empty? This one has and this is day 11, folks, of the cycle there. That's what an unfertilized egg looks like. And what's so special about Iams?
They are all black.
Yeah.
Their feathers are black, their eyes are black, the feet are black, their meat is black, like literally the entire bird black.
So,
and what we want to do for them, we will actually be keeping them. Just sit. We will actually be keeping them separate from our other chickens. I gotta check the brine. And what we're gonna do is basically breed them. Like that's our goal, is to raise them and sell them for that, so that we can kind of do this our own. We've talked about the potential in the future to get another bloodline and be able to add more, to the stock. Now this recipe does call for a head of garlic. I love me some garlic, so we're gonna go for a little bit more. Plus, you got to separate it up into the different jars, so I'm not really worried about the garlic. So, but yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we candled those last night. They're looking fantastic. Do I need to scoot over?
No, it's just the focus is weird. Yeah,
No,
it's good now.
So that's kind of what we're doing with that. So that was super exciting to have that much potential to come out of a gamble, I guess you could say. And so that was super duper exciting. What else happened this week? We started building a rabbit hutch.
Yes.
To get our males and our last female into a more secure space. We're worried about, as always, hurricane season is upon us, and we want something that's definitely a lot more sturdier
than just the wire
cages. So we'll definitely get some pictures up of that once we're finished with it. The framing of it is done. The roof is on it. We just need to add the sidewalls, and then they'll be ready to go.
Y'all know, like, we just, from the ground up, decided to just step by step talk through it. We didn't make any real plans for it.
Yeah.
We just knew that the roof was going to be 4x8, and that the cage itself was going to be 3x8, and then we went from there.
And it's turned out really good. It's very similar to the one we already have. However, put a little more thought into it this time.
Yeah.
The last one was just kind of a, oh shit, we need a cage type thing, and Pat pretty much put it together with stuff that we already had around the house, which is like not bad at all, and it is held up and it's wonderful. But at the same time, we wanted to put a little bit more effort into it. So what we actually did is we took the money that we made from selling the kits from our last birthing process, I guess you would call it, and we used that, and we used stuff that we had around the house. We still had some chicken wire and stuff left from the stuff I got for free from my boss's chicken coop that we took apart and brought home for our chickens. So, I mean, altogether on it, I mean, it's very sturdy, very solid cage. And I think altogether we maybe spent $150 on this stuff for it. Which commercially, something the size that it's going to be a lot more expensive. So we got that going for us. What else? Did we do anything else?
Doc Ferris asked how his cat's doing.
Your cat is doing good. He's not even on his pain meds anymore. For those of you that missed our show a couple weeks ago, Bing, our little orange 9-month-old domestic short hair, has severe hip dysplasia in both hips. So he's actually going in for surgery on the 28th of this month to basically remove the femoral heads off of both of his femurs. And then the scar tissue forms what they call a false joint, and so he'll be able, once it takes about 6 weeks to be finally healed, he should be a normalish functioning cat. And Jeff fell in love with him when he came to visit and sat on my couch and fed my cat donuts, because why not? And so they have a love affair. And so he's a little worried about his stepson. I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick.
So Freaky Geek asked if the blood is black on the I Am Samani. The answer to that question is yes. I Am Samani is called the Black Lamborghini of chickens.
I didn't know their blood was black.
Everything's black about them. They have a genetic disorder which causes everything to be black. And what Chip said about the black blood, it's another sought after ceremonial bird because it does have black blood.
It's interesting and not something I'd ever considered. So I need to interrupt again because my brine is boiling.
Okay.
So I am putting my garlic in there, just kind of separating it in between the jars. Can't have too much garlic. Then these are going to be dill. We didn't have any fresh dill around the house, so I just have some jarred stuff. Shame on me. Whatever.
Seeds or
care. This stuff. That's what I found.
dill leaves.
Yeah, so it's just
Dill weed.
Dillweed. You're a dillweed. Oh, I love the way it smells. So I'm just gonna load these bad boys up because once again,
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2 teaspoons each.
it's
That's
about that much. I don't know.
It's a boom.
It's Italian. I don't know.
Oh,
I was raised Italian, y'all. You just kind of throw it in there. It looks good.
A skosh.
Put a skosh. Put a little more skoshes. And then you're going to throw some black peppercorns in there, which there's something sticky on the bottom of my black peppercorn container. We put everything in mason jars, y'all. So I am going to pour these into my hands because I don't want to end up pouring all of them in there. So it calls for 10 total. I'm going to put that about yay.
About yay.
About yay.
So the reason why most of our stuff is in mason jars is because instead of buying the expensive seasonings, we usually go to the Mexican section
and buy in bulk.
They usually have all their seasonings in plastic bags, and so transfer from plastic bags to mason jars makes sense. So speaking of mason jars, guys, right now, Ibotta has a $3 off 2 8-packs of mason jars, ball or curve.
12 packs.
2 12-packs of ball or curve. $3 off of that. And then there's still a valid.
And I'm cutting off again.
Yeah.
So I poured my brine into my kind of floppy pour bowl so that it'd be easier to get in there. So then you just fill them up. It's nice and hot. Leave a little headspace. Fill it up.
Our son is still awake.
Yeah, yes. And fill her up. Hopefully just enough. All right, and then you're gonna put your lids on there. You let them cool down to room temperature, and then you stick these bad boys in the fridge.
And the longer they sit, the better they are.
Yeah, the recipe, because there's no kind of canning process, I'm just kind of shaking them up, making sure everything is getting in there. Because there's no like heat processing of it, they don't last forever. However, 3 jars of pickles in this house will maybe not last that long. So I'm not overly concerned about that. Are you on my face?
Yeah.
Or my boobs.
On your face.
We have done pickles before, like a more traditional way when we've actually had like a lot or buy them on sale at the store.
Actually, Megan's very first thing she ever canned.
That first thing I ever canned was pickles because I figured you can't really mess them up. And like y'all know, I've talked about this before, I am so new into all of the realm of homesteading and prepping and providing for yourself, I guess. All of that is so new to me. It's been a learning experience, but I am slowly but steadily embracing it. I think I am. I don't know if Pat thinks I am, but I think I am.
No, I think she is. I told her I was proud of her tonight.
He did, because I came up with this all by myself today. I did the research, I did everything, and damn it, y'all better give us a thumbs up. So the recipe does say that these do one more thing about the pickles. You don't need to look at them, honey. They're the same things they were. They need to sit for a week in the fridge before you open them. So I figured next Tuesday on our show, we could crack them open.
Try them out.
And either fall in love or die on our live stream.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the only two options. So anyway, we have canned before, like the water bath and like true proper canning. We've done pickles. I don't know what else we've done stuff off and on. We do eggs quite regularly, especially with having the chickens and the quail and stuff. We have an abundance of them. Pat's done meat before, in the pressure canner. But one of the things that I found today, when I was looking at different like options of canning and like doing like a refrigerator, just gonna put them in there and put them in there type thing, was oven canning. And so I had a question for you guys because it's something I'd never heard of, and Pat had mentioned it. But basically, what you would do is, like what we just did, except then you would then place these jars into a preheated oven and let them sit there for a little while in the oven. And I guess back in like the 1920s, it used to be a popular. I just put garlic in my eyeball. It used to be a popular way to can, but then by like the 1940s, it was phased out. There were people saying that it wasn't good enough, that it wasn't getting the jars hot enough, that the stuff inside, because it's a dry heat, it wasn't getting the center of the jars cooked enough, and so it wasn't killing the different things, botulism, things like that. But then there are some people that are still set in their ways for it and will still swear by it. And if you do it this way or that way, it's still totally legit. And so I was just curious if any of you or your parents or grandparents ever did, oven canning and how it went. I was reading one story about how somebody blew up their oven with oven canning because the jar just blew up.
Exploded.
It exploded. And so I was just curious. It's something that's completely out of my realm. Like, we've done water bath canning, we've done the pressure canning, but oven canning was new to me, and I don't know how I feel about it, because one, exploding my house, and two, not killing the things that need to die, they're not great for me. Like, those are kind of some things that I draw the line at. So I was just curious, if you guys have ever done it or know somebody that does it, just make a comment, because I'd like to know personal experiences on it.
Chip Signal says oven doesn't remove oxygen via pressure, so it just depends on the type of canning.
So that'd be like the low acidity, or like meats versus vegetables, I guess?
It'd be a low acidity.
So like not tomatoes, but...
I mean, tomatoes are high acidity.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So would tomatoes be good?
Probably stuff that's more relevant to E. coli, like green beans or meats, would be less ideal. I mean, if you're not going to water bath it, you probably shouldn't be ovening it. You probably should be pressure canning
it. Yeah.
So probably in considerations on what's going on there.
But yeah, I was just curious because it was something that I will admit my knowledge is not plentiful, and it was something that I had never heard of. So that was just, I was just curious.
So you're gonna put those in the fridge?
They gotta cool down first.
Okay.
But then yes, they'll be going in the fridge when
All right.
Bigger bowl.
Need a bigger bowl.
But yeah, so that is my quick 10-20 minute refrigerator pickle recipe. So hopefully they'll turn out good. And we'll see you next week. I figure on the live stream. Come crack open a jar and go from there.
So it's Tuesday night Eastern Standard Time at 9 p.m. And then we'll be back with a new subject. And you guys,
We're not done.
I know we're not done.
Oh, you're like signing off.
We're not done yet, no. If you ever want us to cover a subject that you haven't heard us cover, or think might be cool or fun or whatnot,
Or just want our opinion on something.
I put my email up there. It's breakawayhomesteader@gmail.com. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, just reach out to us, because sometimes it's a struggle to come up with topics. I don't know if like other channels do that, but they're like, because we don't want to do the same thing that everybody else does, because then it just feels like we're copying everybody else.
Right.
And so sometimes it's difficult to cut, like, how can we cover something that somebody else hasn't, or how can we do it but have our spin on it but not be the same, but not be like way crazy with it.
Right.
And sometimes it's difficult. So if there's ever, like, honestly, We're not experts, but we can BS with the best of them. So
PS with the best.
BS.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said PS.
Yes, BS. PS.
PS. I for the subway.
PS. For the best. So, yeah, also, if you guys ever want to send us anything or anything like that, you send us mail, we'll probably reply to it.
And by we, he means me.
We have had a couple fan mails come in that we did reply to and sent some stuff back. And what is the name of the channel would you send eggs to?
Windswept.
Windswept.
Yeah.
Windswept. We met them over at Big Bear Homestead's get together over Memorial Day weekend, and they were hoping to get some quail. And I brought them some quail, so I told Windswept that we would send them some quail eggs. And so for the last week, we collected eggs for them, and then we sent them to them.
Hopefully they're fertilized. Hopefully they get a good rate like we did.
They should. I mean,
Ours did good.
We had this thing called the flock swap every first Saturday of the month, and about a month and a half back, I sold quail eggs as fertilized quail eggs for hatching.
For like $2.
And then, so first Saturday of this month was actually June 1st.
So pretty.
So the guy I sold some to was like, hey, he was selling quail. I'm like, oh, it's good to see people have quail out because that's one of the hot items that people wanted. He was, those are the same quail eggs that you sold me for $2 a dozen or something like that. I don't even remember what I sold
I think
them
it was
for.
$2.
And he was turning around making $5 a bird.
Yeah.
And so he cut a profit on those. That's pretty cool. And, self-reliance.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome to me. You got anything else?
Not that I can think of.
So, I know this is maybe a little amateur of me to do, but I figured it'd be fun, since we're doing pickles, to read your favorite book.
It's one of my favorite books ever.
This is Megan's favorite book of all time. It's called Mark Brown,
Pickle Things.
I'm going to read it to you, and I'll show you the pictures.
So this book is
This is an old book. This was made from
1980.
papyrus from the Nile.
Oh, whatever. So it's copywritten in 1980, but when I was a kid, this was my favorite book. I read it all the time. Everything was just amazing to me about it. Like, I loved pickles. I would drink the juice, like just the brine when the pickles were gone. I don't do that anymore, but when I was a kid, I know. When I was a kid, I did. And so this book was just, it was a highlight of my life. I don't know what that says about my childhood. But then, even to the point that since I was like 2, we have had to have a pickle on our Christmas tree. And so we still have a pickle on our. We don't use my original one from when I was a kid, but because it's, well, at this point it's considered an antique, and
the one we use is plastic.
We do not use the blown glass pickle that I grew up with. Yeah. So now we're gonna have story time with Patrick.
Yes. So get the kids, gather around,
get your popcorn,
and we're gonna talk. We're talking Pickle Things by Mark Brown. And there's the inside cover. And I'll sit here with you like I'm reading to you. Okay. Pickle Things by Mark Brown. For Tolan and Tucker, 2 sweet pickles. Pickle things you never see, like pickles on a Christmas tree. A pickle ear, a pickle nose. Pickle hair and pickle toes.
Don't judge me.
Pickle up, pickle down, juggled by a pickle clown. Pickle in, pickle out. Pickles from a water spout. Pickle things you never make, like pickle pie or pickle cake. No, we're really delving into Megan's mind right now. We're about halfway through and I'm already... Pickle donuts, pickle flakes. Pickle candies, pickled shakes. Pickle things you never buy, like pickled kites that fly high, sky high. A pickle ball and a pickle bat, a pickle train and a pickle hat. You never hear a pickle talk, you never see a pickle walk. You never hear a pickle sing or see a pickle leave a pickle ring.
You're judging me with your eyes.
Can you ride a pickle boat around the pickle castle moat? Or ever steer a pickle bike down a pickle street and pickle pike? It's Pickle Street. Or ever fly a pickle plane through pickle snow or pickle rain? Or ski a pickle down a slope or climb a pickle with a rope. One thing for sure you never do is wear a pickle shoe, never pickles on your feet. Of course not silly. They're to eat. And that is Pickle Things.
Ladies and gentlemen,
By Mark
my
Brown.
favorite book ever.
Hey, quick question for you. Do we still have that jar from Walmart?
Yes.
You have to go get that jar. So, okay, if you ever go down the pickle aisle at Walmart, just do yourself a favor, just open your eyes and start reading labels. I think we should do a giveaway.
You want to give these away?
I think we should give these away.
Okay. So we gotta ask a question first.
It's your show. You get to ask the question.
Peanut butter and pickle sandwiches.
Heck yes, my father loves peanut butter.
This
and pickle sandwiches.
Imagine Acre Wood.
Nice.
Then Chip said I've had banana and mayo sandwiches. Blech. I'm sorry. I don't like mayonnaise. Uh-oh. You need your charger, honey. Our battery's running low.
Okay.
Run!
I'm running!
He's running. Never pickles and... I'm kind of intrigued by that. So I kind of feel like I need to try that. Is like crunchy peanut butter, smooth peanut butter, dill pickles? See, I only like dill pickles. So if it's a bread and butter thing, I'm out again. I'm picky with my pickles. So I need answers. I need to know. Okay, get back on the screen.
So what was the question?
I haven't asked the question yet.
Oh.
I am asking. So I've not asked a question yet.
Okay. Well, it's got to be like a pickle question.
Well,
Oh, dude.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? I don't know either. I don't know. My favorite pickle is the lime pickle. I've got this wonderful old woman. Not old.
She's old.
Old woman. She was Mama Lloyd. What's
Yeah.
her name? What's her name? I can't remember. Anyway, once a year we will go to a cookout.
I just call her Mama.
Let's call it Mama. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mama will come out and we do a pig. They would do a pig. We do pigs and pistols, and we shoot guns and eat hog. And she had these pickles. Years now. I want to say years we've been doing this. And we would trade pickles for Megan's special
Alcohol. Because Mama likes to drink.
Mama likes to drink.
Well, Mama doesn't like to drink. Mama likes to drink Megan's liquor.
Yeah, apple pie is her favorite.
And
And we would trade apple pie for her pickles. And what she does is she follows the lime recipes on the Knorr's pickling salt recipe.
oh,
thing.
and puts a little bit of
Yeah.
lime in it, and it keeps the crunch
And
like
they
amazingly.
soak the gherkins in ice water and lime, and then they rinse them, and then they rinse them again, and then they can them, do a water bath canning, and the crunch. Oh my God, the crunch! So freaking good. God, I want some of those pickles. We gotta call Lloyd.
We do.
We really do.
Just go visit his parents.
Exactly. Yeah, we would pop up and be like, "Hey, we're here." I'm sure they'd be happy. But that was my favorite pickle. So let's.
We only got 6 people watching.
That's fine. I don't care.
All right. What is a pickle thing you'll never see? I don't know.
Okay.
Well, you just read the book.
I did just read the book. There's several pickle things that you'd never see though.
Yeah. Well, any of them would work.
All right. Come on.
I don't know, honey. I'm trying to read the chat. You come up with a question.
Why do I gotta come up with the question?
Ew, mayo and Parmesan. Y'all are weird. Mayo and Parmesan cheese on corn on the cob. I feel like we need to write this down. Did you take the glass out of the light?
I did.
Okay.
To the dishwasher.
I feel like we need to write all these down and then just do a show of trying people's weird
stuff.
recipes.
That's just kind of a Mexican thing. I want to say that the whole slathering of crap on corn.
Like a street food type thing?
Like a street food type of Mexican food.
I don't know. You're the one that grew up in Texas.
Yeah. I can recall some stuff like that. Some crazy stuff. Okay. Question of the day. This is for the prize.
Which you don't know what it is yet.
You don't know what it is yet. You're going to get this, whether you like it or not. If you don't get this, we'll keep it. That's fine. We only keep it as a relic.
Yeah.
4th of July is Independence Day.
Yes.
Independence from what country?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. A lot of people don't get that right.
You're kidding. You've got to be
I'm
kidding.
not kidding. Independence from what country? 4th of July.
You have to stay on camera because I'm over here.
Okay. There's going to be a quick delay. So she's watching the chat right now. Whoever gets it first gets it. So as I was saying, next time you go to Walmart,
The Bloody British. Doc Ferris is the winner.
Good, because I'm going to be seeing him next month. I'll bring him this. I'm going to make him eat it too. I'm going to take video of that, of him eating
Please
it.
do.
Don't open them.
I'm not.
Okay.
So Jeff, you want to see what you've won?
Give a second. So next time you go down a Walmart aisle, go to the pickle section. They have a whole aisle dedicated to pickles now. At least half an aisle. They have pickled icicles. They have little pickle juice ices that you could put in the freezer and have pickle ices. They have all kinds of sweet, hot relishes, everything like that. One thing that I came across and had to have. What are you doing?
I don't know. I broke the computer. No, I'm good. I fixed it.
Here we go, folks. Ready? Tropicals.
Pickles. I call them Pickles.
Pickles. Pickles. And I'll read the label for you. Pickles. Fruit punch flavored pickles. Fresh pack.
They're pink.
They're pink. I mean, these.
It's like they're packed in Kool-Aid.
They're packed in Kool-Aid. Tropical Kool-Aid. Ingredients are cucumbers, high fructose corn syrup.
They're from Walmart. What do you expect?
Water, vinegar, salt, natural flavors.
So now we have a war going on. So Doc said the Bloody British, and then Jason said England, and now Big Bear is upset because the Bloody British is not a country.
Lord have mercy.
You know what? Just for that, Jason, we are going to get you your own jar of Pickles.
We're going to send you some.
And we will make.
That's if they still make them. I
don't
know
know. Last time we were in Walmart, they still had them.
Okay.
So we will get you some
Sodium
Pickles.
And Red 40.
Woo woo! They all natural, goodness. So
these were made on a farm on Mars.
So
Tropical.
Big Bear and Doc, you're gonna be the proud owner of some Pickles.
Some Pickles. These, I would pay you to eat these. Just make your kids eat some too. I want to see Carol and
Odessa. I'm gonna see
Odessa.
Blaze eat one.
Blaze. Yeah, the whole family. It's a challenge. You get to eat some pickles.
Can you see Tommy eating one?
Oh, just having red teeth. You know what I mean? Smiling.
Imagine Edgar with some maraschino pickles.
Maraschino pickles. That's perfect. That's perfect. Come back here, baby.
I don't wanna.
Come on.
I'm having fun.
We're done.
Are we done?
I know we're done.
We're early.
We're early.
got
I said
nothing
it'd be
you
a.
can blab on?
I said it'd be a short show.
Yeah.
Short show.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have a longer one next week to make up for it.
You know, maybe we will. So come up with some subjects and send us an email, breakawayhomesteader@gmail.com, or write to us. It's P.O. Box 736 Vass, VASS, North Carolina 28394.
Yes.
So she got some stuff the other day.
I did.
Some perfume, natural.
I did natural perfume, some silky lotion stuff.
Yep. So
Look at Rookie.
yeah. Just
So we
staring
got
at
it. We
her.
got a new pet today. We did. He
I
came
don't
from
know
a
if I can't
hoarder. I
turn
can
that.
just turn it.
Yep.
We're traveling. I'll put it down, and I gotta wait for the thing to.
You don't have to wait.
Well, I need to see where it is to see if you can see
I
it.
understand that, but look.
Oh.
You go down to actual
Well,
OBS,
you know, I
and
don't-
you can see me.
So there's a bird in there. We had this. I had this come into work last week, and it came from a hoarding, not a hoarding situation, but the person was a hoarder, and so nobody stepped forward to claim it, and so we are now the proud parents of a lovebird,
Of another animal.
another animal.
The
I did
last-
talk to this one. I did talk to Pat about this one before I just brought it home.
It's the last animal.
Yes, I had to pinky swear on that. So we've got a new friend. So it's still a little nervous. It was talking to the dog earlier, but it's had a lot of adjustment in the past couple weeks or past week or so.
Yeah. And
So-
Jason, you can see me put your door on.
Yeah, we got one of your doors, Big Bear. Well, it's not your door, but
The same door you've got.
and I love it.
We loved it. We decided to get it and put it on literally the day after we got home from
Yes,
your house.
we did.
So we're happy about that. So that's it. That's it for us.
Yeah.
So I'm Patrick.
I'm Megan.
We're the Breakaway Homestead. We'll see you guys next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right here on the YouTube.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.